Boy, I'm excited about this one here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, Sportswire Radio, on a Friday night. And we are just over 12 hours away from what I think is going to be the biggest show in NEW history, Star Clash 7, and there's 8 matches. I mean, they all could be the main event, but we've got one guy here that's going to tell us why he's the main event tomorrow and why, well, his match for those tag team championships, let's just say it's going to be a wanted possession of his. And he's going to talk about what our guest said last week on Sportswire Radio, Stephen Havoc, who holds the titles for now. But we're going to talk about really why the 716 has got the upper hand over the 518. We're going to talk about some of the things that Stephen Havoc said that, well, let's just say sounded rather personal. We're also going to talk about where our guest has been traveling, because the last time he was here, he talked about going to Texas and he was going to do something. Well, he's going to tell us exactly what he did. He's going to talk about our friends over in home backyard wrestling and what's next between him and another champion. Maybe he'll have more championship gold in his sights. He'll be talking about a riot in the ring, which he was announced for. And, well, since he is the main event, I've got something for him that he doesn't even know about. And we're going to be talking a lot. Yep, he doesn't even know about this one. And we're going to be talking a lot about the Battle of New York and a history that goes really longer than most people on this platform would even realize. And it actually affects yours truly. Yes, that's right. It affects yours truly because we talked about it last week. But I'm going to give our guest his side of the story. But, since we are here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, and our guest, alongside NEW and home backyard wrestling, most certainly helped build Sportswire Radio to the tune of over 1,400 subscribers and not one, not two, but 3 historical moments with the man beast, the War Machine Rhino, coming on here. This guy, Savio Vega, who some would say was responsible for the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. And this guy, Doug Pinnock, last week, who was only the frontman and bassist of this band, King's X, that played in Woodstock and opened up for AC/DC, opened up for Pearl Jam, Motley Crue, the Scorpions, and is going to be opening for Tool next weekend, which was only covered in the hard rock and heavy metal version of Rolling Stone, which is blabbermouth.net, have been here. I've got to give our guest that introduction because I see people now here in the chat are waiting for it. He's a main event. He's waiting for it. And I'm waiting for it because I've been working all day waiting to talk to a fellow New Yorker and talk about the 716 versus the 518 tomorrow for the NEW Tag Team Championship, Star Clash 7. Let's get ready to rumble on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station. So with that, without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one cable sports show. A man that is the reigning, defending ACW Texas champion of the world from the unwanted. His name is, simply put, the main event. Mickey Vargas. The champ is here. My friend, how are we doing?
I'm doing real good. That never gets old. That never gets old. I love that. That never gets old.
You
I'm
know,
doing
I
real good. How
actually,
you doing today?
I'm doing great, and we're gonna talk a lot about NEW. We'll talk about some homes, some other places you've been to. But I gotta be honest, I feel more pressure every time I'm on this platform to do that now because of all the names that have been here recently. And then next week, well, we only have the one of the drummers of Black Sabbath. So I mean, it's just it's an interesting last 6 or 7 weeks on Sportswire. So I feel more pressure to do that introduction for you and maybe some other people that come on here rather than those, names that everybody knows because everybody here wants that same introduction. So
You got to live up to it. You have to give
well,
it to
that's why the
everybody and
pressure. No, seriously, the pressure. I feel more pressure just for the intro than anything else. It doesn't matter, we talk about the whatever you're going to talk about, blah 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 blah. But that intro, because those names got it, and they were like, "Oh, well, I like it." It means I got to do it for everybody else. But we did great. It is great to see you. Congratulations on certainly what you've done in Texas. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about our friends at home. But let's kick things off here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that you, NEW at home, have most certainly helped build. Sportswire Radio to the tune of 1,400 plus subscribers. There is a big crowd here tonight. I expected nothing less. Mickey Vargas, you are no longer unwanted. You now want those NEW Tag Team Championships alongside your tag team partner, King Shock, Shocky Boy himself. And tell us, what can we expect tomorrow afternoon, Star Clash 7, for those NEW Tag Team Championships?
well, baby, let me tell you what you can expect. All right, you can expect blood. All right,
All right.
these are our New York brothers, but business is business. I said this in the chat while
You were here
Stefan
last week. Yep, last week you talked
while
about it.
Stefan was on. I said this in the chat. Business is business. Friends and foes are all the same when I step in that ring. I'm going to be smoking on Stefan the same way I'm smoking on this joint right here.
Well, it's interesting you said that. I'm going to put the poster up for it. We're going to put the NEW YouTube channel up in a minute. But the history between you, Stefan, and Shock, it goes back. It goes back before NEW. As a matter of fact, we were talking about it last week. It goes back to Monroe in Monroe County and the RWA, and it involves yours truly because the RWA was a company that, well, I covered very briefly. And you, Shocky, and Stephen Havoc and Rob O'Malley, you want to throw him in there, Stephen Havoc's tag team partner.
Well, you got to throw. It's not throw him in there. We got to pay respect.
I got to throw him in because he hasn't been here, but you know what I'm saying. But the point is, the four of you have been basically at the center of this journey. And in RWA, this is where it all started. So really, this is 2.5 years in the making. This all rears its ugly head, figuratively and literally, tomorrow, because it all started in the RWA. And tell us about this journey where the four of you have been on.
So it all, like you said, it all started RWA. All started with just a bunch of guys, just, hey man, we're starting this thing down here. You guys are close. We'd love to have you down there. Of course, we're anywhere that wrestling is there and we're wanted. The unwanted is coming, baby. So obviously, we went down there and we basically took over RWA.
Yep.
For anyone that had watched our product back then or the RWA product, they'll see like we were the heavy hitters in that.
Absolutely. We're talking a lot about it the last couple of weeks. That
it all started the French, that meeting. That was my first time meeting O'Malley. It was everybody's first time meeting Stefan. And it really was just like a brotherhood from day one. We're all here for the same mission. We're all here for the same goal. And that's just to succeed. So, on that aspect, it was just nothing but love when we first met each other. It was nothing but, respect and all that type of stuff.
All right, sure, there was respect. You guys certainly had a lot of success in RWA. But let me ask you, was there ever some jealousy or watching your back or anything that would have said to you, you know what? We don't all have the same exact goal.
No, you see, yes. Jealousy on my end? No. Why would I be jealous when I am the man? I'm the guy to beat, especially in RWA. I was the man to beat.
Yep.
So jealousy, no. As far as keeping an eye behind my head and watching my back, 100%. You can't trust nobody. I can trust my wanted brothers, and that's it. But as far as Stefan and O'Malley, yeah, they were cool. Those are my homies, nice friends, and all that. But I can't trust them. I can't trust them.
You're the 518. You're the 716. You and Shockey are the 716. There's a difference. We were talking a little bit about this last week, and those of us who are New Yorkers are going to understand this completely. There is a huge difference from the geographic territories in New York. The 716 and even the 518, and I'm here in the 718, there is significant geographic disparity. Division. So really, different. If you think about it at the end of the day, champ, you are nothing alike Rob O'Malley and Stephen Havoc. Nothing alike. At all.
And I can explain why.
Tell me. Right? Because I know why, but tell the audience.
In the 716, we grew up gritty. We grew up in the snow. I'm not saying they didn't. This is New York State. Everyone grew up in the snow. But our stuff is different.
You get in like May. It's like May 1st. You still might get snow.
We still got snow. All right. We still got snow. It's about to snow on Wednesday. That's beside the point. The point is that we grew up different. We had to get everything that we ever wanted. We had to take it. The 518, it's a small town. Everyone knows that.
Yeah, suburban.
It's a suburban area.
Really,
you feel me?
Weather,
we're not the same.
Weather, yeah.
You see, me and all my unwanted brothers, we're really from the trenches. We're really from the 716, the down gritty. You know what I mean? We'll get nitty and gritty with it. The 518, on the other hand, they got all their cows and all their farmland up there.
Yeah, they're where they are. Listen, they're in the middle of the state. They're in a small town. You wouldn't even blink if you knew you were there.
You wouldn't even. You drive through their town, you don't even know you went through it.
Listen, I'm downstate, and if you asked some of my friends and colleagues, you'd go, "Hey, do you know what the 518 is? Do you know?"
They'd ask you, what is that? What the fuck is the 518?
I would know it because I'm one of the few people that actually, knows all 62 counties in New York.
Listen, I'll give them props where props is due. No one knows who the fuck the 518 is, but there's a decent amount of people who know who Stefan Havoc and who Rob O'Malley is.
But can you say, all right, but let's talk about that before I put that poster up. If I were to say to you that Stephen Havoc, or you call him Stefan Havoc, and Rob O'Malley, they were known off the backs of the Unwanted's Mickey Vargas, yourself, and King Shock. What would you say to that?
One more time. I'm sorry.
If I were to tell you that Stephen Havoc and Rob O'Malley, they made their name, but they made their name off, the backs of the Unwanted's, the main event Mickey Vargas, and King Shock, what would you say to that?
I'd say that's fucking true, brother. I'd say that's fucking true. I would say that nobody knew who the fuck they were until they stepped in the ring with me. I bring relevance to everyone and anybody that I step in the ring with. That's just who I am. You see, I'm main event fucking Mickey Vargas.
And these guys, where would they be? I don't know.
If anyone in the chat has any disagreements, I suggest that you go to the RWA YouTube page.
I will look
at their top
we're putting up. I'll put some of it up later. We were putting it up a little bit last week on the show. I did want to put the poster up for NEW first because that's tomorrow afternoon at 12 o'clock.
I don't want to take away nothing from O'Malley. Okay. O'Malley was doing his thing.
Yeah, he was known, and
I'm not saying he was relevant. I'm not saying he was relevant because that he wasn't. I'm saying that he was doing his stuff before. But I can say without a shadow of a doubt, without a Mickey Vargas, there is no Stefan Havoc.
And that's what I would say is that, sure, Rob O'Malley did WTW, WZW. He was known.
ZZW.
Yeah, he did some stuff. Stephen Havoc
was known in a different. I'm not gonna lie. You got to pay dues where dues are paid.
Absolutely, but you know what?
O'Malley and WZW, he's a given. You can't take that away from him.
No, for sure. But I would say again, from your vantage point, you're going to tell us here that Stephen Havoc, again, I got a chance to know Stephen Havoc 2.5 years ago when the RWA concept was born. And I said it, John Jackson reached out and, talked about this idea. I was on board. I thought it was great being a New Yorker. And Stephen Havoc was getting involved in it. He was getting another shot in his career. And a lot of that success, you, from your vantage point, are going to say, well, without the unwanted, without Vargas, Shock, and I see Torrance Banks here in the chat and some others, where would Stephen Havoc be today? Which is why you're wanting to collect on gold in a possession that Stephen Havoc has that really, by proxy, belongs to you and King Shock.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You see, on principle alone, we are the true NEW champions. You see, that man had the nerve to open up his mouth and say that we're the outsiders. Brother, you're not even from NEW. You're an outsider. So if you're an outsider and you had to worry about me taking the tag team champions hostage, I'm not even gonna lie, you got something to worry about because
I was going to ask you about that. How did you feel about that last week when Havoc talked about the fact that you and Shock don't work in NEW and you were outsiders and could take those championships and hold them hostage, but Havoc and O'Malley, they're not really NEW guys either. And that goes back even the previous week. I had Tyson Spade, and I'm not going to ask you about Tyson Spade and Joe Starr. You got your own.
Tyson Spade, we got to run that. Well,
I got that, but I'm not interested necessarily what you think on that, but a point that I do want to ask you on is that I asked Tyson Spade as this guy that's helped build NEW, this guy that has seen the growth of the company, and he didn't seem like he was too thrilled with outsiders like Havoc and O'Malley. He didn't have an issue with Vargas and Shock. And it seemed to me like, really, if you think about it, who is more of the outsiders? Wouldn't it be Havoc and O'Malley rather than Vargas and Shock? What's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts is this, all right? It just comes down to history. Who has more history with NEW? Us or them? Now, for the fans, the true fans that have watched both products, they'll know that at XTCW, we've had multiple crossovers with NEW.
And you had a lot of NEW guys just at Shocky's house party, which took place.
Exactly. But we have known these guys for years before Shocky's house party. For years. Yeah. So as far as being an outsider, I'm more of an NE superstar than you are, brother.
I mean, Havoc and O'Malley, they just basically showed up here. I mean, they really just showed up in here. And
I'll give them the props. They did show up. I mean, they showed up and they took over. I mean, look what they did. They showed up and they took over the tag team.
Yeah, I mean, listen, right away. They're phenomenal competitors. Listen, I have all the respect in the world for them. They're from our state. I appreciate them. But really, if you think about it, they've just come into this company, have had a cup of coffee here, whereas you and Shocky have known some of the NEW guys for years. Jake and Justin Abel Sane, Tyson Spade, Joe Starr, you've become friends with. I mean, there's a list of guys, Power Surge. You know a lot of those guys for a long time, whereas Havoc and O'Malley, really, they've just come onto the scene more or less.
Yes, sir. So we're going to let the fans have their opinion on that. I know my opinion. You got their opinion. They think we're the outsiders. I think they're the outsiders. Let's let the fans truly decide who's the outsiders.
Fair. All right, but let me ask you, though, a different question. And I don't know if you see it this way or not. We've been talking about the 716 and the 518. Do you see this tomorrow as the Battle of New York? Who is the more superior team from New York? Do you see it at all as a Battle of New York? Do you see it that way tomorrow, or what's your thoughts on that?
No.
Why?
In the aspect that no matter the outcome, we are still the best and the only well-known team in the underground New York scene. The unwanted, is the best. We are the pinnacle of what you get on the underground scene as far as factions, tag teams, and whatever you want to call it. We're the pinnacle of that.
Mm-hmm.
So they have something to live up to, not us.
So the pressure's on them really because they've held these titles for, I would say, about 2 or so months. I'm sure somebody can fact check on me on this, but they haven't been in the ring quite with you guys. And on top of that, they're veterans. I had Havoc on the eve of him winning the tag titles, and I talked to you about his career. We went over. I'm not gonna regurgitate some of it, but the point was that like at that moment, that was the biggest opportunity, biggest match of his career. Now he wins it, but there's a pressure. There's a pressure in holding the championship. Joe Starr's been going through that as an example. So those guys, especially this late in their careers, I mean, isn't it only a matter of time before the clock strikes midnight on Cinderella?
1,000,000%. And I'm not taking anything from any of the tag teams in NEW, but they're not on the same caliber as us. O'Malley and Stefan, they never had a challenge like the Unwanted. They never stepped in the ring with anybody built like us. Us Buffalo guys, we're just built different. We're truly the Unwanted, and we made our name for ourselves to the point where everyone wants us. You should see my emails. I got bookings here. I got bookings there, and there. You should see Jeff Shock's email. He got bookings here. He got bookings there. And it's our name value.
Yes. No, I think there's no question you guys have a lot of value. And before I do anything else, if you have some more value, please hit the sub button for NEW so you can watch the show tomorrow. It's going to be a fantastic show tomorrow. We have 8 matches. They're all going to be main events. And one of those matches we're talking about here right now. You might want to say this is the pre-Star Clash 7 coverage here. We are here with the main event, Mickey Vargas, who is also the ACW Texas champion. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters and all King's X matters here. So, yeah, I think that it would mean a lot for you and Shock. I know you guys have done a lot of things recently. You've been all over the place. But I got to ask you, what would it mean to you tomorrow to win the NEW Tag Team Championships? What would it mean to you?
It'd mean a lot.
Yeah.
It'd mean a lot. I don't want to go as much as say is that it would mean the world, because the world is for my taking, and this is just the very beginning.
But you talked about it here. You were here like 6 weeks ago. You talked about it. You're like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You were very resolute. It wasn't like Havoc was more like, he didn't really, not that he didn't talk, but he was more like, just watch it. And he's more been like, it's been a great run. It's been great. But you have been like, listen, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be there. I want to travel to every place.
I like how you just said that. Havoc is talking past tense. It's been great. It's been fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. I'm going to do great things. I'm talking present. I'm talking future. I'm not even going to spit that weakness on my name. It's more than great. It's been great for him. He's right. It has been a great tag team run for him. But the Unwanted is coming to stop that.
Well, we're going to find out. But I mean, you come in here in NEW. You're going to have this match tomorrow. And Havoc talked about the personal of the match. He talked about just watch the match. And, you mentioned blood earlier. And I mean, why then did it take this detour? I mean, we saw your video here a few weeks ago on Vortex, but without telling the audience what's going to happen tomorrow, why has this taken this turn? Was it all of a sudden at the All Out War Rumble? And why do you think there's been this turn, more or less?
So that's my brother. Those my gang. Those my guys.
Mm-hmm.
But there's been animosity from the very start, from the very beginning. So this is just like, it's boiling over at this point. You know what I mean? It's just like, we're coming to take over, and taking over is NEW, and you have what we want.
Well, you guys want everything. Yeah, I mean, listen, that video, was certainly very haunting. It was very dark. it was very gritty. Like you said, you are gritty. They come in here and it's almost happy to be here, suburban, middle of the county, middle of the
Middle
road.
class, white class. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not
I
from
mean,
there.
listen, I get it. I'm a Brooklyn guy. I do that, and I know we're gonna have something here in a few minutes. I might be able to play thanks to the NAW management, which we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, there's a difference there. But I mean, it's taken this turn. I mean, did you see it coming, or this was just something that came out of the blue?
So I saw it coming in the aspect that the moment they made the 518 an official tag team, I saw it coming.
You did.
Because off rip, I knew and I know. It's not that I knew, I know that the 716 is far superior than a 518. In the moment they made that tag team, I knew that we had to prove a point. That point exactly what I just said, that the 716 is far superior than the 518 in wrestling, in economy, in every aspect of life that you can think of. We're just better.
So you're telling me really that maybe Havoc and O'Malley maybe they shouldn't show up tomorrow?
That be the healthy thing to do if they care about their life. If they care about their life, if they care about their well-being, if they want to see their children at the end of the night, the best thing they could do is not show up.
Well, I'm not going to use the words Omen Black used the other day. He was talking about salvation for his opponents, but they do have an opportunity in Havoc and O'Malley, and I guess maybe just not showing up and forfeiting the titles, because after all, like I said, by proxy, from your vantage point, those titles belong to you. So really, I mean, they maybe should just find something else to. Maybe they should call out sick tomorrow. Does NEW allow for calling out sick and maybe having a doctor's note and forfeiting the titles? I don't know if we allow that.
I'm close with those guys, but I'm not that close. You got to ask their management.
Yeah, I'm going to tend to think that management is going to probably disagree with that, and I don't have a problem with that. But I know there's something. I'm going to play it here because I know NEW has something right now here. I'm actually going to play it for the audience because it's on their YouTube page, and we're live. And we're actually going to play the trailer here from Star Class 7. So I'd like to.
I haven't even seen this.
Well, let's play it now. How about that? So we'll go on for a minute or two. We'll come back to it when it airs. But let's say hello to a few people. And Justin Abel saying didn't want to confirm. No sick time for untenured employees. Oh, there you go.
Untenured. What's that say? They're not even there to defend their championship.
Oh, really? They're
what
more
type of champions are those? What type of champions are those?
Well, that's to be interpreted, but that's
how the way I interpret it is that they're not there to defend their championships. Untenured, where they at? They're the champions. They should be tenured.
Listen, you know what? That's a question I'm going to let the management answer. I want to say hello to Ultimate Gamer 2.0. Torrance Banks, who's certainly here in the house. Torrance may be here tomorrow, either tomorrow or the following Saturday. Always good to see Torrance. Hope you had a great birthday. Also, yep, we know we love the Nexus. Yep, I know the Nexus is in the house. Thank you for our Nexus. Also, Joe Starr is here. Mickey Blaze Up, brother. Torrance has been agreeing with you. That's for sure. Zilla's here. Zilla's definitely here. Ox McCoy is in the house. And yep, Zilla's got All Wrestling Matters. Yes, hello to Ox.
Going on, Zilla. Always appreciate you being here.
Before we get to the trailer, what an unwanted guest. Gross. I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll be thinking of you tomorrow night when I'm celebrating. And he says hello. So I guess he's showing up tomorrow. So he is, just to confirm, Stefan Havoc, or Stefan, as you would like to say, is going to wrestle.
Hold on. Before you carry on, I got to address that.
After, because the trailer is going to go on. Let's do that after the trailer. Let's do that because I want to support our friends here in NEW.
Will you hold the line when every one of them is giving up and giving in? Tell me, in this house of mine, nothing ever comes without a consequence of cost. Tell me, will the stars align?
I'll have to turn it down because it's copyrighted music, right? That sounds copyrighted.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
Just be careful. Let's do that.
I'm gonna put it low. Put it low. How about Ani there? There's another home representative. Hiroshima. There's Torrance
I got a
Banks.
lot to say about Oni.
We're going to talk about that. I will ask you your thoughts on other home members in the ring. And there's Justin Abel saying, boy, he's, that hurt. Yeah, copyright's going to strike him down. Yeah, I have to lower it because I have just had on big names on Sportswire. We don't want to get thrown.
No, we can't have you getting your shit messed up.
No, not right now, but we'll
hell no.
But we'll see stuff. This is just I think the whole.
Damn, you see what Zero just did?
I think the whole show, it's all nasty. Yeah, well, you know what? We didn't see that there just now, but the following announcement.
That wasn't us. I don't even know who. That wasn't us. What are you talking about?
That's what you didn't. That's why we're seeing that there. Yeah, there you go.
That was him.
Well, there you are now.
Kimo.
There you are. Kima. There you go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what you hear now.
That was Kuma.
Well, they have their own issues to deal with. And there's Torrance Banks. Home is in the house. And there's Ani again. There's just what an exciting boy. I tell you what, the theme of tomorrow's show is personal. I think every match is personal, just from afar. Don't you agree?
100%. 1,000,000%.
Boy, the only place you need to be is on the NEW YouTube page. But I'm not even asking you thoughts on Joe Starr and Tyson Spade. I think for my money right now, this has been the few. When I look back in 2020,
I can't. That is a match. Listen, I'm not to cut you off, but that match, I can't wait to watch that match.
Me too. And that's what I was gonna say. I think this has been the feud of the wrestling circuit so far. I think those two guys. I mean, it's like. You don't know what's going to happen next. And then you go, oh, by the way, Jake and Gabe. I mean, just by the way, Jake and Gabe.
Yeah, I mean, you got to throw those guys in there, but I mean, the other guys.
Oh, we got Leo and Savage, and we saw Surge and Zero, and I mean, recently Savage has kind of gotten personal with Leo, and I mean, we saw Rhea and Sane.
I mean, look at that DTS. Oh man.
These guys they're gonna have a banger of a match. They've already had history together. I mean, that's what's gonna make this so interesting. There's the
I don't got nothing good to say about Leo though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't got
I'm aware of that
about him.
But
he I don't for whoever watched in the Rumble for NEW, I got eliminated by him. Final two, it was me and him. He took away my chance at the NEW main event for Star Clash. So I have nothing good to say about that man.
Well, that's why I'm not asking you further about him, but you had a point you wanted to make before we played the trailer, and I want to give you that opportunity. You were talking about Stephen Havoc, and Havoc came on, and he talked about the fact that he was going to celebrate with those tag team championships, and then you were going to say something, and then the trailer. Do you want to say anything for Mr. Havoc? Because he was here, and he left. And all he said was he called an unwanted guest gross. I can replay the comment on the screen.
Yeah, replay the comment.
I'm going to do it here. He's one of the first comments. He says, what an unwanted guest. Gross. I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll be thinking of you tomorrow night when I'm celebrating. Fucking
your mom and holding the tag team championship over.
Well, I think you have obviously some outside reinforcements there. I mean, it doesn't quite sound like shock, but obviously somebody there is speaking for you. And what do you think? Not much. You don't need to.
No, I think a lot. I mean,
no, I know that. I know that.
He thinks I'm gross, and I like that.
What? You like that?
I like that.
No,
I like that because I'm gritty, baby. I'm gritty. The city you come from, you're civilized. I'm uncivilized, and I'm not afraid to admit that. And that's why when I take the NEW Tag Team Champions from you, it's not going to be a surprise.
Well, I mean, we'll have to find out. And Joe Starr wanted to say that he crossed the line when he brought my dear father into this, who we know what Joe Starr thinks about his father, and he's not in this world. and that's obviously that in itself. I did want to ask you, what are your thoughts on some of your home members out there, such as Ani, and certainly since he's here in the chat, Torrance Banks tomorrow. Torrance Banks is
I'm
in
gonna speak on Torrance. But
do it,
I gotta
because
give my
Torrance is
props.
going to be back on Sportswire, like really,
I gotta
really.
give my props to Oni.
Tell me.
All right, my man Oni, right?
Yeah.
He is an absolutely great talent
Mhm.
who's being underused at home and out of state. I'm not afraid to admit that.
Wow.
He's
Okay.
100% underused. This kid, if he puts his mind to it, he will be the future of this business.
But he's
I'm
also
not going to
got.
say he's going to outdo me. Nobody can outdo the main event, Mickey Vargas.
You went to Texas just now. I mean, yeah,
I did go to
going there.
Texas.
You did, but you got Banks and Shima here, and what do you think Oni has to do to be able to get a W here? What's your thoughts on that?
He just got to be himself.
That's it? That's all he has to do? No, stop.
You got to be himself, brother. You got to be himself and work. He knows what Torrance is capable of. He's worked with Torrance in RWA and in home. He knows 100% what he's capable of. Who he has to worry about is Hiroshima.
I was going to say that.
I'm not going to knock him at all. He's been doing his thing in NEW.
Yeah, Shima, I think the last few months is one of these guys that he's progressed, and I'm going to break the fourth wall. I've spoken to Shima here and there, and, we were talking, and he told me, he said, Tom, I said, I appreciate you watching the shows. I said, I appreciate what you do. But he told me what I've seen so far has been good. But what he's saying is wait until like the next few months from him. So Shima, I mean, he's saying the best is yet to come.
And I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. That triple threat, I promise you, is a match to get watched. I promise you. I don't doubt it. Hiroshima, Torrance, Oni are all three players in this game who are so severely underrated. It's not a joke.
But Torrance has got the experience factor, so shouldn't be this his is to lose because he's the one with the experience factor here.
That's my unwanted brother.
I know that. Although at home you guys have had some issues, though. Let's just put it that way.
We have at home. That's a different story. Out of state, we're a unity. We're a family. You can't break us up.
Not like you and Mr. Havoc and Mr. O'Malley, I've noticed, by the way.
Not at all. Not at all. Nothing like that. Us Buffalo Unwanted, we stick to each other. We're Buffalo. We're 716. Yes, we have love for all New York State guys. 518, 718, 71, whatever. We got love for y'all.
Although I will say it, and I'm not just saying it because you're here, but I do think in some ways, aside from the weather, I think at least the 718 does have more in common than the 716 because of the grittiness, because of the toughness. You got to go. The ground beats you down. The people beat you down. It's an urban environment. I grew up in an urban environment, so I understand and, some of that. So,
yes, sir.
And Torrance wanted to say iron sharpens iron. That's a good analogy. Iron sharpens iron there. Iron sharpens iron there. Well,
and now listen, I'm not going to lie. I'm going into this match at Star Clash.
Yeah.
As a seasoned veteran in hardcore and borderline, death match. And
that's where Stefan felt last week
that
he has the advantage.
And not to cut you off, but that's where Stefan. That's where he thrives.
Yep,
he thrives in that environment.
Mm-hmm.
So in this situation, he has the upper hand, but the outcome is the same, and the outcome is the Buffalo Unwanted coming out with the new NEW Tag Team Champions.
I want to ask you about that, though, as we're here with Mickey Vargas, the main event Mickey Vargas, who's the ACW Texas champion. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters, and we are here with pre-Star Clash Show 7 coverage, and also check out the NEW YouTube page where you can watch the Star Clash 7 trailer, and you can watch it and turn it up because you can hear the copyrighted music and enjoy it all you want, whereas here, I have to put it down on mute because, well...
Go tune in. Run those views up.
I will put the link up back for that in a minute, but you last year were in the Riot in the Ring, and I'll ask you about that later on, but you didn't really like the hardcore wrestling. Now, I know a lot's changed probably since then, but what have you learned then in that experience to maybe adjust to what Stephen Havoc? Remember, don't forget, Havoc and Shockey had one heck of a match where even though Shockey won, I mean, Havoc took him to and Havoc was here right after that and basically said, well...
Hold on. Who won that match?
Shock.
Who won that match?
Shockey. King Shock.
That's what I fucking thought.
Now, but Havoc, though, said in his mind he won because he took Shock to a limit or to a level that he hadn't been before. So, I mean, I ask you, what have you guys learned from your experience?
We don't live in a movie. We live in real life.
You guys
got his shoulders pinned to the mat?
Stephen Havoc.
That's all that matters.
1, 2, 3.
That's all that matters.
So what have you learned then? Not giving it away, but what you'll be able to do now in a hardcore match this time tomorrow and such. What have you learned from the last?
I learned to play the rules. I learned that
rules in a hardcore match.
There are no rules, but that is the rule. That's the rule, that there is no rules. And I learned to play by that because I was raised and I was brought up in the industry where hardcore is just black. And you're a wrestler, and that's what I am. I'm a wrestler. But now,
you and Shock are you and Shock are wrestlers. Havoc, he has a brand, and I think that his brand is different than yours, no question.
They're wrestlers, don't get me wrong, but they're brawlers.
They have a different brand than you and Shock.
They do. They're brawlers. I'm a wrestler. Don't get me wrong. They're good at their craft. I'm not demoting them as far as that. I'm demoting them as far as who's better. But as far as their craft, they're good at their craft. But the point is that I now know how to play by the rules. The rules are there are no rules. So when that happens, you're going to see a different Mickey. You're not going to see the civilized New York State 716, the unwanted. You're gonna see.
716 is. You guys are not civilized like in the 518 where they sit there in the small towns.
No, we're not suburban. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I know.
But we have class. Don't ever get us twisted. We got class. We can get nitty and gritty because that's our environment. That's where we come from. But we got class. We can go there and we can go mingle with the best of them because of what the class we bring. But the point I was bringing is. Now I know what the rules are. The rules are the no rules. I'm gonna come and tear some shit up. I'm coming to hurt people. Like I'm not there. I know how to play now. Like I got that gusset in my head last Riot in the Ring. It'll never happen again. But
you've been traveling to Jersey. We've seen you in. You had been to Texas recently. So you're also, I'm sure, talking to other wrestlers who were in the game. And you're getting their insights.
Not for nothing. I mean, for the people that want to go watch it at WSW, War First Society Wrestling.
Yeah.
You're truly unwanted. Shock and Mickey Vargas had a tag team match for the titles against Mikey Anarchy and Bonafire.
I did see some of that on Instagram a few months back, and I was
Bonafire, two significant players in
deathmatch. Well, I have to tell you, I had Mikey on here about a year plus ago. It was kind of comical. Well, it's not comical, but it's comical. Mikey, at the end of the interview, took his shirt off and showed all of the cuts on his back. I was like, wow, okay.
You want to know something, Tom? You want to know something? Look at his forehead. A couple of those extra scars are from yours. Truly.
Oh, you gave him a few. Oh, so you gave
him a few. I gave him a few.
So next time I bring him on Sportzwire, I have to bring up the 4. I said, Mikey, what's the latest memento you have there in the top of your head? And he'll be able to say, oh, that was from the main event, Mickey Vargas.
If he doesn't, he's a lie.
Well, you know what? His back reminded me of when you go to the butcher and you get meat, and you see the meat, and it was like all the red and white, and that was his body.
That's him. Now that's what I'm coming from.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I went toe to toe with 2 of the best guys in a deathmatch underground wrestling.
Mike. Oh, listen, Mikey. I mean, for goodness. I mean, Mikey is definitely one of the very best.
If he's not the best underground deathmatch wrestler, then I don't know. But I went toe to toe with them. Toe to toe.
Totally. Bonfire and Mikey are definitely right up there. Speaking of which, I saw you were recently announced for Riot in the Ring too, and what's your thoughts on that? Because this is such a different event this time than last. It's like so unique. There are people from all over the place, literally. And what do you think about being in the Riot in the Ring this year?
I think I'm gonna win. Not that I think. I know that I'm gonna win. And you see, that's the thing. We're bringing people from this state and that state and this state and that state. And one thing is like they have to realize that like I'm coming from New York State, and that's the best state.
Yeah.
Like I've learned from my mistakes in last Riot. If they think that I'm gonna come into this Riot making the same mistakes, they're farly mistaken.
I mean, our state, to be honest, I'll say it. Our state is really like, I think in some ways we are the toughest state in the country. I mean, I'm going to say it, and I'm not knocking any wrestler on this, but I think our state, in terms of what we go through, whether it's the weather, the people, the attitude, the quality of life,
the politics.
Yeah, I think what we go through, I mean, listen, as a Brooklyn guy growing up in Brooklyn, you are Buffalo. I mean, it was like every day was like growing up. And I'm not a wrestler, but every day was like got a day, and it was like just to survive. I mean, literally just to. Now, I'm not saying everybody else didn't have those same problems, but I feel like in New York, in our state, it was magnified by 10. By 10 times it was magnified, whether it was just getting through school, whether it was, my parents providing a roof over my head and having a meal and clothes. And I think that's what's going to maybe lead you into those memories, those attitudes that might be able to make you one of those guys that, you know what? Yeah, it doesn't hit you, but maybe it hits you right in front of everybody that Mickey Vargas could win this Riot in the Ring. I mean, why not you? After all your experiences. Yeah.
Could?
There's a lot of people. I mean, I lost count how many people are in here. I mean, I
will. No. I don't. The people in here, I'm grateful, but could? You mean
you
will?
Win.
Did you mean will?
I mean, who are you going against? Do we know who you're going against yet?
For the NEW Tag Team Champions?
No, the Riot in the Ring. I'm talking about.
Oh, the Riot in the Ring. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's why I said the Riot in the Ring. You could definitely win the Riot in the Ring from your experience. I'm talking about the tag titles. Tag titles, I got that point. But I'm thinking right now with this Riot in the Ring, right? All these names. I know the people from Iowa, Michigan, right? We've got people from, Massachusetts, Connecticut, right? Delaware. But your experiences, right? For your case to win, you might, from everything you've learned recently, these past several months, might make you one of those guys at the top of the list. You know what? Yeah, Mickey Vargas, Texas recently, New Jersey.
Again, not to cut you off, but that word might. What do you mean might make me one of the top guys? I am one of the top guys. It's not will. I am one of the top guys. My name isn't Main Event Mickey for no reason, brother.
Well, I do have some comments that I do want to get to. And Ultimate Gamer, I'm sorry about your dad and family, but Mr. Havoc does want to say that the 518 covers cities. Well, it does cover Albany, which is the capital, and it covers Saratoga. He's talking about. So he's saying that it's not just little towns that you might think of, like Columbia County or Monroe, Dutchess County. He's basically saying that he's the big city.
Okay, my rebuttal to that is, again, who would have known that if he didn't say that? Nobody. Not a soul.
Well, speaking of souls that are here, is your tag team partner tomorrow.
He puts my brother unwanted right there, brother.
He is. And he says, for life. For life. Hell yeah, for life. And Jake is calling you Main Event Mickey Uso.
Nah, he stole that from me. There's a difference.
Nobody talks about the 518. Everyone knows Buffalo.
Exactly. whether it's the Buffalo Bills or whether it's the Buffalo Unwanted.
And don't bring up the Sabres right now. Please don't bring them up.
We don't ever bring them up. But the Bandits, that's a different story.
I agree with you on the Bandits. I was on TikTok Live with Torrance. We were talking about that 2 weeks ago. But you are in the riot in the ring, too. And, I know I have to talk to you about home in a minute, and I want to talk to you about Texas. But I have a surprise for you. No, it's not what you think. It's not going to be a Tyson Spade and Joe Starr incident. It's not going to be what have you seen on Sportswire, guys getting attacked and guys shooting on each other. I've actually got.
I got to look over my shoulder.
Well, Sean Jovi on his birthday got the hell beaten out of him.
I'm beefing with Onyx right now.
I'm going to get to Onyx. Well, I'm getting to Onyx. I'm going to get to Onyx in a few minutes. But I do, obviously, I have something for you, in a minute, which I do want to give to you. I definitely want you to have it because, well, you definitely deserve something. Before I do that, I do have another comment here. Sabres ain't never been the same since Milan Lucic and ran Ryan Miller's ass over. Yeah, well, that's a long time ago. That's definitely a long time ago. So that is, definitely a long time ago. But I can now present to you something because I do have a surprise. So you can keep yourself looking at me. I promise you it'll be worth it. So if you allow me to share my screen, I can give you the surprise. And I think you'll, let's just say, want to see it.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, congratulations. You're the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Ta-da, another New Yorker. Torrance Banks was in the Hall of Fame a few weeks ago, and Havoc's been in there. And congratulations. We have the third New York wrestler in the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. Ta-da. I thought you liked the surprise.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother. Thank you.
Shockey will be next, but for now, we have you here. So we have three, and I thought you'd want to see this, and congratulations. And you have my John Hancock.
We got me, we got Luke, we got Torrance.
Well, we got Havoc, but Luke got the day. But we'll get Luke in.
Why isn't Luke Hall of Fame?
Because you've been here more. But we'll get.
I'll give you that, brother. But I mean, we got to pay respect
soon. Well,
brethren.
Luke is coming back to Sportswire. The good news is he is coming back, but you're here today, and congratulations. I'll certainly send you the copy of it when we're off the air. I'm sure your manager will be happy about it, and congratulations. And now Luke is definitely cool. I really enjoyed Luke on Sportswire, but he'll be back very soon, and Mr. Shockey will be back here very soon. And let's then talk about home for a few minutes because you did mention Onyx, and there's some scores still to settle. You were victorious on this past week's episode, but so you got still some unfinished business there that you want to finish, right?
Oh, yeah. You see, this upcoming next Sunday, I should say.
I think it's next week because we just did this week was 39. So I think it's the
next Sunday. I will be retaining the head of the household championship. I can promise that.
Yeah.
I can promise that. You see,
please don't guarantee like Patrick Ewing did one year in New York. He famously guaranteed to beat the Orlando Magic. It was an old game on NBC against Shaquille O'Neal. At the time, the Knicks, they couldn't beat the Magic, and he went out and said, "We're going to win." And he played like he had a terrible game, and they got beat badly in the afternoon. It was like he never lived it down. The New York papers, like, so don't just make sure you don't do a Patrick Ewing on us.
Never that. But I never make false promises.
All right, well.
I never make false promises, and I promise you I'm going to be the next head of the household championship. And the first two-time head of the household championship.
What would that mean to you? What would that mean to you?
Speaking on that, our good friend Onyx, fuck him. Your good friend Onyx.
Well, I haven't had him yet on Sportswire, but I mean, I'd like to be friends with as many people as possible. But I'll give you that one. I put your matchup on the screen at least. But talk to me about Onyx.
He's a scumbag.
Yeah.
He's a scumbag.
I've heard.
This is a man. I'm sure you have, brother. I told you a million times. He's a scum. This is a man who I known my whole life. My whole life, through the ups and downs, he was always there to help me.
Yeah.
And then at my highest, At my highest, when I thought I could trust him, he betrayed me. You see, this is a different mentality than me coming at the 518. That's business. With
This is
being
personal.
honest,
This is
this is
personal.
personal.
Yeah.
Brother, this is personal. I want his blood, not for business reasons, but because he needs to pay. And that's the only sort of payment I'm going to accept. That's the only type of payment I'm going to accept. This man took everything from me when I had nothing at the time. This man truly is a backstabber. I could never, even after this match, even after I beat the shit out of him, I could never, in my heart, accept an apology from this man.
But you could take the head of the household championship.
I could take everything from him. I'll take everything he fucking has. I'll take his championship. I'll take his career. I'll take everything.
The way he said that, I just thought, and somebody here wanted to, Havoc talked about eggs, and egg prices are pretty bad these days. But yeah, I mean, he sold his soul to win the big one. He sold his soul to win the big one.
And now his soul is mine. He sold it, right? He sold it to me. Little did he know that, though. It's mine. And in this upcoming show, when I get my title back, the crowd, the fans will see that no matter what, blood, sweat, and tears, I'm willing to put it all on the line for the head of the household championship.
I want to ask you something as we're here with the main event, Mickey Vargas, who is the ACW Texas champion. Mickey will be in the ring a couple of times here coming up. First of all, he'll be in the ring tomorrow afternoon, Star Clash 7, for those tag team championships alongside his unwanted tag team partner, King Shock, against Stephen Havoc and Rob O'Malley. He'll also be in action the following weekend for the head of the household championship against Onyx, and you'll see him in the Riot in the Ring 2 coming up later this summer. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally. We're all Wrestling Matters. And if you're here, like this interview, share it, and tell your friends about NEW, Home Backyard Wrestling, and of course, Sportswire Radio. But if you think about this, let me put this scenario out to you. You tell me your thoughts. You got the ACW Texas Championship already, right? Tomorrow afternoon, NEW Tag Team Champions, one half of that, and then reclaiming the head of the household championship, first two-time head of the household champion. I mean, you could be right if it all goes into your favor. By next week, you could be at the very top. You said you're the main event. You said you're the top guy. I mean, when it's all said and done, if I were to say to you by next Sunday, you could be literally the top of the underground by having the ACW Texas Championship, one half of the NEW Tag Team Championships, and then the head of the household title, and then being the first two-time head of the household champion. That makes you the top of the underground. What would you say to that?
You want to be lying. You want to be lying. And the only thing I have to say about that is that when I go to Texas, there is no underground. I am a professional wrestler. I am a true professional wrestler champion. ACW is nothing that is not legit.
Yeah, I saw some of it on Facebook. I saw some of the footage.
I am a true professional wrestling champ. But as far as every other championship on the underground, don't let me belittle them because they are just on the same caliber.
But the whole two major companies' titles, right? NEW tag title, reclaim the head of the household. I mean, that's significant. And you think about that right now of anywhere in the underground. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure somebody can fact check me, but I don't know if there's that champion that holds two major championships from two different underground companies. I mean, Ace Christian has the VTW title, but he lost the DBW Hub City Championship. He was maybe one of the names I thought of off the bat, but you could be that guy that would have that ability. That's a pretty significant accomplishment. Plus, like you said, the ACW Texas Championship. I mean, that's some significant gold. I mean, you might want to call you the belt collector rather than the main event.
I mean, at this point, it's just exactly what you said, a collection. And I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm coming for DBW. I'm coming for GTS. I'm coming for LTW. I'm coming
Well,
for
Banks,
all of them.
Torrance Banks talked about them 2 weeks ago on Sportswire. He said, Tom, I asked him, what is your goal? He said, Tom, I want GTS. And he talked about Rad Dad. And he talked about the GBYWN championship. So, I mean, if Banks is saying it, I mean, why not you?
Why not? And it's not just them. I'm coming for UWF. I'm coming for TF Crew. I'm coming from all.
You should. IMF, go to IMF, VTW. I mean, you find a place, go there. WTW already. Yeah, I know you figured that one.
I'm coming for them all. I'm coming for them all, brother. And when I mean this is just the start, this is just the very beginning. And this is just solidifying my name as the main event, Mickey Vargas. When I come home to Buffalo, New York, the 716, the glorious 716, with the NEW Tag Champions, the head of the household champion, and ACW Tag Texas Champion. It's just going to solidify that.
Significant. Now, listen, I mean, legitimately speaking, to have two major underground titles, possibly, and then to win what you already have held, the ACW Texas Championship, it's all simultaneous. I think that's the thing that makes this so fascinating. This is a really big next 2 weeks for you. It's a really big next few weeks because that's a significant accomplishment. Guys talk about this one and that one, but they don't have that championship gold that you would have. I think that's really, really fascinating there. And new tag team champions. I thought that was a kind of clever one there. And Banks even has his own issues with Onyx, and Eddie Pizzo is here. All right, so we'll see some of that there. But again, it's been an amazing run that you've had. Do you have goals for the rest of the year, or is it basically what you've already said you're going to do? I mean, we know you're going to be in the Riot.
I definitely have goals. All
right, so what are they? I want to hear them.
So my goals are definitely the TF Crew Championship.
Good one. I mean, Santiago and Rad are obviously fighting over that. We'll see who
for sure. That is my goal. My goal is the UWF Championship.
Good one.
My goal is the GTS Championship.
Another one. Rad's got the YouTube one. Yep.
My goal is the DBW Championship.
That's Brandon Castelli. You and Brandon Castelli would be a heck of a match. I have Austin James from DBW here Monday night. I'll mention you. I'll mention, hey, what do you think about Mickey Vargas? What do you think about King Shock, Torrance Banks? These guys want to now come to DBW. Why not? I'll ask him. He was in GTS.
My goal is to take over. My goal is to solidify my name as main event Mickey Vargas. And every company you go to, underground or professional, that is my goal.
Well, you said that you weren't in Texas to party. You weren't there for the barbecue. You were there on business. And you've said that it's business tomorrow. Home is personal. That's your home company. And I mean, we're seeing you here victorious, and that's what is coming toward Onyx's way. Stefan Havoc is obviously going to be dealing with what you and Shockey are going to bring to the table to him. And, anywhere else that's going to have to face you, you are the main event. You have shown that you are the belt collector potentially, and it all could be that way. And when you're back here next month, that's what we could be talking about. There's really, no questions about that. If you want to follow Home, let me put the YouTube link up here for Home because we got to get more subscribers to Home. We're closing on 500 subscribers. So we're getting there. We're getting there one by one. We're at 424 right now. Somebody in the chat, do me a favor. There's a bunch of yous here. I see at least 10 or 11, maybe if not more. Hit the sub button for Home. That way you can stay up to date with all the latest coverage. And if you're watching this in my neck of the woods, I know there's a person or two because I'm meeting them in my home community. I'm having people, hey, I've watched you on YouTube. I've subscribed recently. So if you are here, do me a favor. They're from our state. They're from basically our areas. We need to go hit a sub for them, especially because they live in our state. So let's support maybe the greatest underground company ever from New York. There's no question that, we need to support those who support us. So that's the case. And we're here for a little while longer with Mickey Vargas, who is the ACW Texas champion and also the newest member of the Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame. I've asked you a lot tonight, and I know you're a very busy man, and I don't want to take up your time any further from world domination and, other things you have planned here coming up, since I know we're a few short hours away from Star Clash 7. But if you would have any final words for Stephen Havoc and Rob O'Malley, what would they be?
You're going to regret the day that you open up your mouth against the unwanted. You're going to regret the day that you step in the ring with the unwanted. You're going to regret the day that you even thought that you can beat the unwanted. You're just going to regret your life decisions when you see the unwanted.
Is home personal with Onyx? Is that something personal for you that you have final words for him as well coming up?
I wish nothing but hatred.
I knew that was going to be more of a simpler answer. I
wish
knew that.
Nothing but hatred on Onyx.
Okay. All right. Let me then go back to NEW one more time. If I were to tell you that is NEW after tomorrow, and again, we'll find out, certainly Star Clash 7, I'm sure some of you will be back on from this, but is NEW big enough for you, Shock, Havoc, and O'Malley after tomorrow? What would you say?
No. Yes and no. Yes, in the aspect.
I knew that was going to be something where you had to think about that, because I had a feeling.
Yes and no. Yes, in the aspect of the caliber of talent that they have. Yes. No, in the aspect is that our pinnacle? No. Yes, that is another thing to check off the list. That's another accomplishment. But is that the pinnacle of the unwanted? Far from.
Interesting. Havoc would like to say, I might regret how difficult it's going to be to get that buffalo blood off my ring gear. If that's a preview of what's to come, buckle up. That's all I could say. Yep. I think Sane's asking about Onyx, which will, but I'm sure Onyx will be on Sportswire one of these days. I'm sure you'll be tuning into that, or maybe you'll have something else to do, right? Something else different that day, right? Different plans.
I'm not going to tune in anything that much.
I gotta give everybody, I have to do it. He actually does want to tell his side of the story. I mean, hopefully by the time he gets on here, his side of the story will be done with. Well, I'd be honest, I don't know if I'm going to get him on this week, admittedly. So you might win the lotto in that sense. He may not be here after, he'll probably be here after your match. Yeah, because the schedule is, I don't think I can get him in this week. So yeah, you'll probably see it. I don't know, but who knows? But anything else you want to talk about? Anything else you want to mention? Texas again one more time. When are you going back to Texas, by the way, before I let you go? When are you going back there?
Going back to Texas, that's in the air.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's in the air. That's in the air. Potentially, maybe August.
Wow. Okay, so you got some time.
Maybe potentially that's still up in the air. But as far as Texas,
August, was the Chase Wakefield wedding, by the way. Hopefully it doesn't. Chase is, by the way, I'm gonna be. You know what? I am gonna be bringing you and Shockey and Banks up big time next Friday, because in your chair, Chase Wakefield's back, and boy, he's gonna have to deal with like so many new people now, figuratively and literally. NEW is gonna be dealing with. He's gonna be dealing with you guys, and then promo wrestlers now are supposed to be part of this. So he's going to be dealing with everybody, Chase.
Listen,
this poor guy.
I love Chase, and I love the opportunity he's willing to give us. I'm a night one worker.
You're not night 3. I have a feeling
I'm not a
this
night
kid,
3 guy.
I gotta be. Listen, I have a feeling on this kid's gonna have to do like a 3-night wedding show.
You feel me? I'm a night 1 worker. I'm a star. I'm not these bums that are coming off the trampoline and, hey, let me get a shot.
I'm saying
I'm a
no
star,
comment on
baby.
that. I am saying no because some of them. I'm saying no comment. That's on you. I'm saying
Yeah,
nothing.
I'm not these bums coming off the trampoline or coming off the base. That's in my past. I'm a star. I'm nothing but a night 1 person.
I mean, I don't mind Megan Trainor's base when she drops that base, but I'm gonna leave that at that from what you said.
I'm not
But
saying anything a bit against the base. That's my past, but that's exactly what that is. That's my past.
But I think that Chase Wakefield, when he's here though, next Friday in your chair, I should certainly bring you guys up and say, Mickey Vargas, Shock, Torrance Banks, Luke Draven, Onyx, Grimes, Oni, Falcone. I mean, I can keep going, right? All should, be there at home at the head of the table and the head of the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational day 1. You guys should be headlining that. I'm going to ask Mr. Wakefield that, and, he'll have to deal with it. He'll have to deal with that question.
That pressure. Yeah.
I'm glad it's not me, man. I'm glad I ain't having that wedding, and it's not me. I got enough problems. The unwanted don't take a backseat. Well, I'll tell you what. I am very excited. Before we get to Cleveland, I am very excited here. I cannot stress enough how excited I am about tomorrow afternoon, NEW Star Class 7. I mean, it is one of the most star-studded, figuratively and literally, cards you are going to see in all of underground wrestling. I mean, every single match on here is practically a main event anywhere else. I mean, it's anywhere else. It's going to be the best match, but yet they're all going to have to follow each other up. And you can obviously watch it on their YouTube. You can check out Instagram for more details. You're going to see it here, 12 o'clock. You got so many great matches here. You got Kuma and Grimes. Boy, Kuma, I would just say that he'll have his own problems. I want to ask you on that. Surge and Zero, can't wait to see that. Sane and Rhea Silver. I mean, that's going to be a Singapore cane match. Yep. 518, the 716, hardcore tornado tag match. You spoke about that. You spoke a little bit about just what that'll be like going through. Jake and Gabe, Falls Count Anywhere match. I mean, Gabe will hopefully be able to, hang on figuratively and literally to his heart after what Jake wants to do to him. And, we only have Leonidas and Savage for the NEW World Championship. I mean, it's just an amazing situation. Oh, by the way, how about Banks, Oni, and Shima? I mean, I can keep going here. It's just an amazing card. NEW is doing a fantastic job. They've had a lot of momentum here. And this is the poster for the tag title matches there. The Buffalo Unwanted versus the 518. Our guest here, Mickey Vargas, King Shock, takes on Stephen Havoc and Rob O'Malley in a war that really, you might want to say, dates back to Monroe County, the RWA, 2.5 years ago. You could say that. And as I said, that even involved me. I remember the day John wanted to put me on a group call with some of you guys, and I missed the call. It was Tiger Smith was on there. Mm-hmm. I think you were on it on Facebook. Havoc was on there. I think O'Malley with Banks were on it. And unfortunately, John called me and I just couldn't take the call. But that's kind of where I think about that all the time now. What a small world. But also follow Mickey on Instagram. I want to make sure you give Mickey a follow. Let's get him some more followers. So if you want to book him, find out what he does, give him a follow, check him out. I'm telling you a lot of great stuff out there. He's no longer unwanted. He's definitely wanted more on Sportswire Radio. And if you want to book him, there is his contact information. And you can see him there with a slew of other great people. And he is also our newest Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer. Congratulations there, my friend. I want to pass the baton to you, give you some closing thoughts. Anything else that you'd like to plug, share, or say? I now pass the baton to you.
All I'm going to say is tune in to Star Clash tomorrow. It is not an event to be missed. I promise you. Every single person on that show poured out their heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears. Literally. Tune in. Run those fucking views up.
It's going to be a big crowd. I got to feel it's going to be a big crowd tomorrow in the chat.
Run those views up. As far as that, my final statement's got to be look out for Mickey Vargas. We're all unwanted. Mickey Vargas, Luke Draven, Shock, Torrance Banks, we're all unwanted, but keep an eye out for me. Because I'm coming to any and everybody's company, and I'm going to take over your shit. I fucking promise you.
You want to take over Sportswire? You want to take it? I'll let you take over for me. You want to take over?
I'll take over Sportswire right now. Give me the reins. Give me the reins. I don't want to take them from you because I got respect for you. But give me the reins and I'll take over.
I'm ready to retire. You know what? I've had a good run. We just had all these guys on. You can take over now. You can.
I got you. I'll take over.
You can interview the trampoline guys. You can interview the ground wrestlers.
I don't know about the trampoline guys. I don't know. I mean,
there's a few of them coming on.
I don't know about those guys.
I guess that I should be basically telling me, yeah, you're staying then.
Yeah, stop bouncing 12 feet in the air after a bump, and then we can talk.
Well, you could wave your hand like you just don't care. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
but, all right.
Watch out for Mickey Vargas. I'm coming to take over everything and anything. No challenges unaccepted. If you want me at your company, I'm one message away. I'm not hiding from any smoke.
Yeah, you've been here. I think Chase, you got Chase's attention. I think Chase, I spoke to Chase the other day, and he said he's going to address you guys next Friday. He actually said, I'm addressing. He's like, he said to me, I really do like the guys in home. And yeah, you're right. He's like, Tom, you've been bringing them on, and I want to address them. And he's going to address you guys next Friday. He's here, I think, at 8:30. He's here earlier. He wants to address the world, and he's going to do that. So, yeah, we'll talk about it. I agree. You guys should be anywhere and everywhere. And speaking of people that you'll be seeing in June, Kato is here, the controversial one.
Oh, yeah. That's another one that I got to mark off my list. I'm not going to lie. That's another one I gotta check off. Kato, I gotta run that.
I love Kato. I love to see you.
I gotta run that. Yeah,
that'll be a good one. You and Kato. That'll be a good one. That would be you.
That's another one. I've been seeing.
Kato certainly put up a fight with Serge, and you and him have that in common.
He's been doing his thing. I've been peeping. I've been watching. I watch everything. I peep everything. Kato,
I know you do.
I gotta run that with you.
Kato was in Kansas, not too long ago. He was in Kansas, and he's here now, and he says he's ready. Although he was mad a few weeks ago, it was on Facebook. There was some problem he had in his house, and it was like, I don't know what, it was like a water issue. Did you fix it, Kato? Because I was watching on Facebook. I was showing my support. Kato versus Vargas would be a banger. That would be a good one. And Kato and Sane wrestled in the All Wrestling Matters hardcore tournament. It was quite a match. And put that in the venue. Yeah. Put it in the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational venue.
Man, book it. That's all I gotta say. Somebody book that.
I'll ask Chase. Listen. I ask him. I can't ask NEW management. They're not here, but I can wink in a nod. I can ask Chase Wakefield next Friday when he's here on Sportswire. I can ask him what he thinks. I don't know. I'm not a miracle maker. Unfortunately, I can't. Everybody comes to me. It's funny and says, "Oh, you got to book this match and that match." I'm not the booker. I can get you on Sportswire to get them talk to the person.
You're not the booker, but you got pulled, brother.
I try. And TBK, hello. Yes. Oh, I don't know if we're doing a regular show, but yeah, the Hardy Boys started on a trampoline. They're without the most. Yeah, but we all started on a trampoline. Yes, we all did. And we'll definitely see what the future holds for you. And if you're here on Instagram, make sure you follow Mickey one more time as I see people in and out onto the stream. You can check him out on his Instagram. And also, if you have a chance, you want to read blabbermouth.net, you can see the article that they did referencing Sportswire Radio. Oh, how about that? There you go. And they lost it. Oh, there we go. There we go. How about that? Now it'll pop up. Oops, wrong way. That's good. Google. I have the article right in front of me. How about that? So if you get a chance, now we can do that. Those pesky ads here, as my voice is peppered right now. But if you'd like to view it on blabbermouth.net, only has gotten, I don't know, like 75,000 views already. But there it is, Sportswire Radio.
Flex. Just a slight little flex right there.
Yeah, I've been doing it quite a bit. It's funny. Even, my mother now is like, when are you on Sportswire now? All of a sudden, you get on Blabbermouth, and there we were. But yeah, we have some really cool guests coming on. I'll let you figure it out. But Champ, I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow. Very excited about it. Can't wait to see what you and Onyx do. Can't wait to see what you do in the Riot in the Ring 2 in June. And looking forward to seeing you next month. And congratulations on going into the Hall of Fame. And I'll give you this copy when we're off the air. And thank you for all you do. And looking forward to tomorrow.
Appreciate you. I really thank you for everything you do to as well.
All right. That was the main event. Mickey Vargas, who is the ACW Texas champion. You'll see him in action here coming up tomorrow afternoon in the historic NEW Star Clash 7. He'll be wrestling in a hardcore tornado tag team title match against Stephen Havoc and Rob O'Malley alongside his tag team partner, King Shock. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice, figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters. And if you're on Sportswire Radio, I may be on. I'd say probably not, but if I am, it'll be soon. If not, I'll see you tomorrow. And please support NEW. But until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters. So please follow Mickey on Instagram. Check out Home, hit a sub for them, and I'll see everybody later, and have a great night.